man, quality is so low. That's the best I've got at the moment. I might be able to get a better one, but we'll see. This video's a little late, but if I don't make it now, I'm gonna completely forget about the fair, and then it's just gonna go away, and I'm not gonna be able to access it again. So I'm making it now. Better late than never. All right. So Utah Ren Fair was Fest. Utah Ren Fest. In a word, it was dusty. Like, incredibly dusty. Like, even the horse I rode was dusty. Day one was really hot. Like, really, really hot. And a lot of people were in and out of the med tent a lot because of that. I also set Caden to the med tent when I split his thumb open, which is not a lot of fun. What was fun was riding around. I got to ride around Dusty, right around the fair, on Dusty, and I was yelling at a bunch of random people to hydrate with April, which was a lot of fun. As far as fighting goes, it was my first fair. I actually got to use my new helmet, which was cool, for the first time. And I had a chin strap system that I had to install myself. Right here, this one. I did all that. I installed this myself, and I had to do rivets and shit on it, and it held up super good. Like the padding was great. I barely felt anything. I remember at some point somebody, Andrew, checked me in the nerve cluster on my hip, and it sucked. And then he started hitting me on the head, and I was like, oh, thank God for that. And it was like, that might have been a later day. But like, it held up so well. The only real issue that I had with it was the new leather stretched, and so I had to put in some new holes like day 3 or 4. I did really good as far as like attacks and stuff go, like as far as energy did. The workouts and stuff have been paying off. I was 150 pounds for like the first time for this fair. And I did the spin move against Grant. This was the day of the spin move, and then he immediately donked me hard. But I was happy that I could do something, because like, you know, it's Grant. I couldn't take him out at the time. Oh yeah, so regarding the heat too, we had a vendor from, I think it was Night Raven Brewery, which is like a soda shop. They provided us free carbonated Gatorade, and it was like 5 gallons of it, and it was amazing. Like, it was a lifesaver. In addition to all the water I was drinking, that really helped me avoid getting heat sick. The first day, Saturday, was insanely hot, and then we had a cold front coming in afterwards. And between the transition, that Sunday, it was insanely windy. And it got so windy we had to take down the tent. And then we had to, we ended up losing a ton of people to Mother's Day too. And that day, I very stupidly was like, I want to wear my armor all day. So I spent like 8+ hours in armor. And with the heat, even though it was windy, I just slow cooked myself. And so at the end of the day, we didn't have enough fighters for a fight block, so we didn't do one. But I did do some pro fights, and the pro fights were literally just like RC and Tyler just like knocking me over and just beating the crap out of me. And yeah, but that, you know, lesson learned. It's just 8 hours in armor sucks, and I either gotta like custom my body to be able to function, or I need time outside of armor. Later, I would learn that I would pre-sweat myself into the armor, so like I would get into my armor and I would walk around to make it to sweat in my armor. I learned that I could just shortcut that and just dump water down, and same thing. I didn't need to exhaust myself ahead of time. So I do think that ended up helping out later, because I could just relax and be sweaty inside my armor. But yeah, wet inside the armor is actually a good thing, because it helps insulate you and keep you cold. So second week, Saturday came around. I didn't fight a ton then. I think actually I had a horse thing going on with the Riders of the Mark, and Bart completely forgot that I was there. I was just kind of as a stand-in. I did start wearing my cloak as drip then, and I do quite like it. I just, also want a tabard or something. But I like drip, and that was a lot of fun. I did my longsword versus Tyson that day, where it was a longsword versus greatsword, and I kind of started working with the crowd a lot more. The next day though, I didn't do a ton that Saturday. That Sunday, that cold front finished coming in, and we got completely rained. So we just actually spent the entire time just hanging out in front of the campfire. They had this little metal box that Janessa and Albert pulled out. Yeah, we lit a fire and we just hung out all day. I was batoning wood with one of Albert's knives. He had this $10 saw blade knife that he made, and I was batoning it with a metal mallet, which obviously is bad. and so I was filing out the damage that I was doing to the blade afterwards, and I can't remember who it was. The name is escaping me. I can see the guy, and it's bugging me I can't remember his name, because I'm so bad with names. He made a joke about me jacking off with a knife, and so I was like, I made a lewd joke, and then I was laughing, and I looked up, and I split my thumb coming back down, or finger. I split my finger coming back down, and I got the nickname Jackknife, and so that's like my new moniker. I think that's absolutely hilarious, and I love it. The following weekend, like the final one, was obviously the longest because it was the Memorial Day one. That Saturday was probably my favorite day combat-wise. I did, like, actually the best performance-wise. I was able to take down a lot of people, or take down some people, but like intelligently too. I used the bodies to knock over RC at one point. I almost got Jake into a headlock, but he wrapped his arm around the wrist, and I couldn't figure out how to get him off of it, so I tried to readjust, and he shot out like all those veterans do. Like, you try something, and then you move wrong, and they're just gone, and then you're on the ground. You're like, it doesn't matter who I got. It was just like, I actually did good. I was doing my hit rips properly, like Bam Bam showed me, where it's like you go around, pull them to your chest, and then you gotta like hump them and then jerk them down. And it was performing that actually helped out a ton. I was able to put my mind into it, and the nice thing is, like, this is the first event I had where my body was properly warmed up, like this whole week, this whole event, where my body was warmed up to the armor. And so I was actually able to like perform these in a perform them in like a high stress scenario. So I also got, had like a mini rivalry with Fives. This was like the first time I met and actually fought Fives. And he kept suiciding me, and he like slammed me on the ground. I think the only time I actually like hurt my head somewhat was when he like completely body slammed both of us into the ground, and I just like knocked my head back onto probably like that really hard barren earth. And so I was like really like paying attention to Fives. I was like, I gotta keep up on this guy. And at one point he charged me from like across the whole list. Like, I don't know if this is the same day he checked me and like made me fly across the list, but he charged me. Like, I was just relaxing and taking it easy because I had been working it. And he like bull style straight at me into the corner, and I was like, I'm gonna die if I take this. And so I tried to like dive to the side, and I still took like most of it to one side of me, and that sucked. And so I was like so glad that I wasn't in the corner when that happened, like that I did move a little bit. But that was, yeah, I just got like smashed, you know. That was that was a lot of fun. I freaking loved fighting Fives. Fives was great. They all were great. All of the people that I met, like RC, JD. Oh, we also played Defend the Queen, which is like legitimately my favorite. I don't know why, but it's so much, well, I do know why. It's objective based. It's like you have a goal other than just stay up or go down. It's like the rules change, so the objective changes, so tactics are a little bit more applicable. Unfortunately, for most of it, the first round, Caden, who was with me, Caden didn't know that we were doing capture or defend the queen, and so he just left her and she went down. And then the second time, I think I did it. I messed it up really, really bad. And so it was like, we just got creamed, but I had so much fun playing that game mode. It was a lot of fun. So the following Sunday, I don't really remember too much about the Sunday, and there's not a ton of footage when I was doing the reviews and writing up my paper down here. I just can't remember Sunday very well. I know the energy was good. I just can't remember anything other than that, and the tourney, like, being a thing. I know Cougar won. Congratulations, Cougar. Okay, so Monday was kind of a lot more goofy, like the final day when we were wrapping it up. We had, like, less people. It was a lot more tired. But me, Trey and James did the final Invictus Cup because Tyler wasn't there. He was there the day before. And me and James teamed up on Trey. Did I say? Okay, me, Trey, and James teamed up because Ty wasn't there. Me and James teamed up against Trey, just threw him on the ground and started beating him up. And then James beat me up. But the Invictus Cup, all in all, was a lot of fun. It was like very swagger, like playing with the crowd and whatnot, just kind of being like a, you know, hypothetical douche. But I was like goofing off, hitting people on the head and running around. I had this whole little bit where I ran around with Chandler, kind of goofing off, just, you know. Then I jumped on his back, and then he wore my hat, and he charged RC very slowly, and then I threw RC. It was a lot of fun. I had a really good time. It was so much fun, just kind of goofing off. We also did the human jousting against April, which was just absurd and really didn't work very well, but it was a lot of fun doing. Me and April, I think, had a lot of fun, just kind of like poking each other very gently with sticks while holding on to the back of I was on Chandler and I think she was on Andrew. But yeah, so overall, we were goofing off. We also had a lot of pots and pans from JD, like left over from earlier events, and we wanted to do like a 4v1 versus Chandler. And because 4v1s aren't fair and very dangerous, me and Caden were kind of just more like bonking them with like our little. I felt like a crab walking around like this, and I was just bonking him to be like, "What's up?" The crowd loved it. I had a really good time. And then Chandler ended up winning, kind of. He didn't lose. I think it was a draw against 4, which is pretty good. But yeah, we were just bonking him and like memeing it up, just because we don't want to get hurt. Very, very silly. Monday was probably like the funnest. The mid Sunday, so week 2 Sunday was the chillest, and then week 3 Saturday was like my best performance day as far as like actual combat goes. So all in all, I had a really good time. Definitely enjoyed the horseback riding with the Riders of the Mark, and I really enjoyed training for all of that. I'm going to take this off. I'm definitely looking forward to the future ones. The next event that I have, as of recording this, I probably won't have it uploaded by then, but this 4th of July, which is just a couple of days away, I have a 5K in Armor. And then after that, I need to go to the Wellington Ren Fair. That one should be interesting. Yeah. These videos are meant to be a mental catalog for me because I will forget things. My long-term memory is like screwed at this point with events, and so it's nice for me to store videos like this and stuff where I can visually see the clips from the Ren Fair and whatnot. So that's the intention of these. But yeah, I'm gonna try to each event make one of these kind of videos. Most of the footage inside of this was from Janessa. I don't think I used footage from anybody else. I think that's everything.